First, the market-based economic system we commonly know as capitalism has been the greatest generator of wealth and innovation that the world has ever seen. But just because an economic system generates wealth and innovation doesn't mean it guarantees a good society. Because from the outset, turns out market-based systems have been compatible with slavery, caste systems, colonialization, war, exploitation, corruption, fraud, autocracy, the poisoning of our natural environment. So what does this mean for ordinary people? Even in the richest countries, all these trends led to stagnant wages, lower savings, more debt, greater job insecurity, higher costs, and maybe most profoundly, increasing doubt that their children would be able to match, much less exceed, their own living standards. Even if we could redistribute all the wealth of every billionaire on earth, address what rightly feels like an obscene amount of inequity, it still wouldn't be enough to lift all those people out of poverty. When things get tighter, people start feeling a little more selfish. So while it's important for us to focus on sustainable growth and inclusive growth, broad-based growth, we can't afford to ignore growth entirely. Some of the key opportunities that our working group identified to build a more inclusive and sustainable economy. At the top of the list are measures that can not only help workers find a job, but also get a bigger share of the economic pie to return that balance. Which brings me to the last key issue that our working group explored. If we are going to encourage more private investment in the common good, if we're going to create more worker-friendly policies, we have to reimagine how corporations are governed and operate. For more than 50 years, corporate managers have embraced the view, popularized by Milton Friedman, that their only responsibility is to increase shareholder value. That's all. The thing is, Friedman's formula isn't drawn from stone tablets. It's not an immutable scientific principle. This is not one of the laws of physics. It is a societal choice about values. Corporations are perfectly capable of operating efficiently and profitably while considering the impact they have on their workers and on their communities and on the planet and on our democracy. And I would argue that taking that broader view may actually improve their bottom line. Because in today's interconnected world, the best companies have to consider the long-term strategies that will help them retain talent or recruit talent from an increasingly diverse workforce. They've got to maintain their brand, or somebody is going to cancel them on their phone. They have to continue to innovate. Narrow obsessions with quarterly earning reports to satisfy Wall Street often makes that harder. And despite what some politicians might say about companies acting too woke, your generation is less and less interested in doing business with or working for companies that are not good corporate citizens. And maybe that's why, for the first time in years, so you're already having an impact just buying stuff. For the first time in years, we're starting to see a noticeable shift in how at least corporations talk about their mission. Our job is to make sure the talk is matched by action. We also need to explore new types of corporate structures, from worker-owned companies to purpose-driven public benefit corporations that allow companies to operate for a profit, to benefit from the efficiencies and discipline that comes with the market, but also allow those same companies to pursue broader social goals at the same time. So take Patagonia. Last year, the company's founder announced they would be transferring 100% of voting and non-voting stock to a trust and nonprofit set up to sustain their values and fight climate change. Patagonia will still be able to hire and grow and make those coats. But now all profits will be distributed to groups that are dedicated to protecting the planet. Getting workers more leverage, expanding and redesigning the social safety net, improving cross-border cooperation to help governments tax and regulate and negotiate fair trade deals and transition to clean energy, exploring new ways for corporations to operate in a way that's consistent with profits and the common good. None of these steps are easy.